The crowd was slow-moving and mean-eyed, breathing like cattle in the heat. Dust stuck to sweat. The sheriff leaned on a splintered post, cup in hand, gaze heavy as stone. The girl on the platform didn't blink. Her dress hung in tatters, stomach round, arms purpled with handprints someone had tried to hide. She swayed once. No one offered her water. $10, someone called out. 10.5. 15 if she's quiet. The auctioneer didn't smile. His voice was flat, like he'd done this before. The sheriff sipped slowly. Said nothing. A whisper moved through the crowd. Heard she bit the preacher's son. Preacher's boy had it comin'. She's full term. Who'd want that? The girl didn't look at them. Her eyes fixed on the hills behind the town. Far off. Like she could vanish there if she stared long enough. Then something shifted. From the back, a man stepped forward, tall, shoulders wide, skin sun-dark, eyes unreadable. He didn't speak, didn't nod, just lifted his hand once. Silence fell like dust off rafters. Someone spat. That ain't legal. Ain't asking you. He even got money? He paid. Let him try. The sheriff still didn't move, just tapped his boot, real slow. The auctioneer looked toward the law, got no answer, cleared his throat. Sold. No applause, no noise. Just the creak of the girl's bones as she stepped down. She didn't flinch when the man reached for her. Didn't take his hand either. Just walked, barefoot. You know what she did. She's still a girl. That baby's near here. She's not yours anymore. The man didn't say a word. They walked past the edge of the crowd, past the saloon, past the old church with the boarded bell. Someone muttered, God ain't watching this town no more. The wagon waited outside the blacksmith's, hitched, loaded, not meant for passengers. He helped her up. She didn't thank him. Where are you taking her? Home. She ain't got none. The man climbed in, took the reins, clicked once. The horses moved. The crowd thinned. One man laughed without smiling. She'll run. She can try. In the wagon, the girl stared ahead, her fingers pressed against her belly like she was holding something in. The man didn't glance at her. You got a name. She didn't answer. Don't need one, he said. The wagon creaked along the road, wheels cutting through the dirt like it was skin. The wind didn't blow. The birds didn't call. She shifted once, winced, then stilled. Why? She asked. He didn't respond. I said why. Still nothing. You pay for me? He nodded. You gonna use me? No. Then why? Someone had to stop it. She laughed once, sharp. You think I'm lucky? No. Then what am I? He didn't answer. She looked down at her hands. One wrist still had a bruise shaped like a ring. You got a wife? No. You want one? No. They passed a rotted fence line. A crow stared down, head tilted like it understood. You fix broken things. Sometimes. I'm not broken, she said. I'm used up. He looked at her then. Not soft, just real. Used doesn't mean ruined. She turned away. Don't need savin'. Didn't say you did. The wagon rolled on. You gonna talk like that forever? Talkin's not helpin' you. She let out a breath. It shook too much. You take me far. Far enough. Folks gonna come lookin'. Let 'em. She pressed a hand to her stomach. You don't even know if this baby's mine. Doesn't matter. Could be the preacher's. Still doesn't. What if I lie? He looked forward. Then it's your lie to carry. The sky was turning dim. Not sunset, just that quiet hour where everything forgets its color. You got a gun? Yes. Have you ever shot a man? Yes. Have you ever shot a woman? He didn't answer. Thought so. They didn't speak again for a while. The girl closed her eyes but didn't sleep. When the wagon hit a sharp bump, she reached out. Not toward him, just toward the wood, to keep herself steady. How much do I cost you? She asked. Enough. You want it back? No. She opened her eyes again. You think I'm gonna thank you? No. You think I'm gonna follow you like a dog? No. You think I'm gonna love you? No. Then why me? He looked at her. No reason. She didn't know what to do with that, so she stayed quiet. The wagon creaked on. Ahead, smoke rose from somewhere hidden. A crooked house, maybe, or a barn. Or just another grave. She didn't ask. He didn't offer. But neither of them looked back. The wagon stopped at the edge of the clearing. Trees stood like bones, pale and stripped, nothing green for miles. The house looked burned twice, once by fire, once by time. Only half of it stood. Smoke curled from a pipe in the roof. He climbed down, didn't wait. She followed, barefoot, belly forward, arms wrapped across her chest like armor. He opened the barn door, didn't look back. Is this it? He nodded. You live in that wreck? He nodded again. You got a name for this place? No. The barn was dark, smelled of dirt, wood, old hay, rust. A wool blanket lay stretched across a pile of straw, a bucket, a candle stub, nothing else. She didn't step inside. I ain't an animal. Then don't act like one. She stared at him. That's supposed to scare me. No. He didn't close the barn door, just walked toward the house. She stood there a moment. A cold wind blew through the holes in her dress. She went in. She didn't sit, didn't touch the blanket, just stood in the corner. He lit the stove, cracked one egg in a pan, let it sizzle, no salt, no oil. You got more? One egg. Just one. He slid the plate toward her. You not eatin'? I did yesterday. She picked it up with her fingers, ate in 3 bites, chewed like she hadn't eaten in a week. He cleaned the pan. Quiet. She set the plate down, hard. Why me? No reason. You always do that? What? Bring women home like this? No. You ever been with a woman? Once. What happened? She left. You let her? She asked. She rubbed her stomach. You don't ask much. No point. You think I'm gonna stay? No. You want me to? Don't matter. She leaned against the wall, closed her eyes. What if I run? You'll get lost. What if I die? Then I'll bury you. She laughed once, bitter. You don't say much, do you? No need. Folks ever come out here? No. You got a horse? No. How'd you buy me? Sold a rifle. She opened her eyes. You killed someone with it? Yes. She didn't ask who. Silence sat between them like a third person, heavy, familiar. You always this cold? Yes. You think I'm scared of you? No. I am. He looked at her. Calm. Not cruel. You should be. She stepped away from the wall. You gonna hit me? No. You ever hit anyone? Yes. She didn't ask why. He walked to the door. Paused. Firewood's in back. You expect me to chop it? No. She waited. You want me dead? No. You want the baby? No. She pressed her palm to her stomach. It kicks when I lie. Then don't lie. She sat on the floor, hugged her knees. Was it worth it? What? Buying me. Don't know yet. She picked up the blanket, sniffed it, clean. She laid it down but didn't lie on it. You sleep in the house? Yes. You lock your doors? No. You trust me? No. He turned and left. The barn door creaked shut but didn't latch. She listened. The wind made it whistle. She lay down, didn't cover herself, just stared at the ceiling beams. Spiderwebs moved like slow ghosts. She whispered, he's not gonna make it. Not out here. She meant the baby, or maybe herself. In the dark, she heard footsteps outside, not his, lighter, wandering. Then silence again. She sat up, walked to the door. He was standing near the well, shirt off, arms crossed, staring into nothing. You see something? No. You feel something? Yes. What is it? This land. She leaned against the doorframe. You think it's cursed? No. You think I am? He turned toward her. Don't care. Why not? Not my curse. She didn't speak after that. He stayed outside. She stayed inside. Neither of them slept. The horse came slow over the rise. Hooves soft, deliberate. No dust kicked up. No announcement. Just the sheriff, straight backed in the saddle, like he'd been riding all night without blinking. The Apache watched from the porch, one boot resting on the top step. He didn't stand, didn't wave, just stared. The sheriff stopped 10 feet out, didn't tie off. You always sit that still? Yes. You know why I'm here? Yes. She's not yours. Ain't yours either. The sheriff smiled, just barely, enough to chill the air. You gonna make this hard? Already is. Behind the barn wall, the girl pressed her hand to the boards. She didn't breathe. The child inside her turned. She could feel it watching through her skin. "You're on land that don't forget," the sheriff said. "I know." "You think quiet protects you?" "No." "You think I won't come back?" "You will." He leaned forward in the saddle. "You don't scare easy." "Did once." "What changed?" "Buried her." The sheriff glanced toward the barn. "She in there?" "No." "You lying?" "Yes." The sheriff didn't react, just pulled out a cigarette, lit it slow. The match flared, died. "She's stolen property," he said. "She's not property." "Still stolen." The wind shifted. The horse flicked its tail. "She run?" "No." "She cry?" "No." "She talk?" "Some." The sheriff exhaled. Smoke curled around the edges of his mouth like it wanted to stay. "You think you can keep her?" "No." "You trying to?" "No." "Then what are you doing?" "Letting her breathe." "She ain't supposed to." "I know." The sheriff flicked ash onto the dirt. "You think this ends with talk?" "No." He smiled wider. "I'll be back with rope. Bring more men." The sheriff chuckled. "You think one ain't enough?" "No, one's too many." He didn't answer that, just turned the horse slow, took his time leaving, never looked back. Inside the barn, she backed away from the wall. Sat hard on the edge of the haybed. She whispered, "He's gonna kill you." The door creaked open. The Apache stepped in. "You hear all that?" "Most." He held out a rifle. She shook her head. "I can't shoot." "Learn." "I said I can't." He laid the rifle on the ground. "You want to live." She stared at it. "He's the law." "No." "He's got power." "No." "He'll come back." "Yes." She reached for the rifle, touched the wood, pulled her hand back. "I don't want to kill nobody." "You might not have to." "Might. Depends how fast you learn." She picked it up. Heavy. Cold. She cradled it like it might bite. "You trust me with this?" "No." "Then why give it?" "You'll figure it out." He turned to leave. "I ever shot a man, I wouldn't sleep again." "Then don't miss." The barn door closed behind him. She sat alone with the rifle across her lap. The baby kicked again. "I ain't ready," she whispered. The wind outside picked up. The wood groaned. Something thumped against the side of the barn. She didn't move. Next morning, the Apache found her outside, pointing the rifle at a tree. Her hands shook. "You load it?" "No." He nodded, took it from her, showed her the chamber, showed her how to hold it, where to place her cheek. "Breathe," she tried. Again. She fired, missed. Again. She hit bark. He nodded. "Better." She lowered it. "You gonna make me kill him?" "No." "But I might have to." "Yes." He looked her dead in the eyes. "You afraid?" "Yes." "Good. Means you'll think first." She wiped sweat from her neck. "You ever think about running?" "Used to." "What stopped you?" "Nothing left to run to." She looked past him toward the edge of the woods. "You think he's watching us right now?" "Yes." "You think he knows I'm armed?" "Yes." "You think he'll still come?" He smiled. She nodded. "Right." They didn't say more that day. That night, she slept with the rifle beside her. Didn't dream, didn't move, just kept one hand on the wood. Next morning, she woke first. He was already outside digging. "What are you doing?" "Making a second grave." "For who?" "Don't know yet." She stood in the doorway. "You think this land ever gets clean?" "No." "You think folks like us ever get free?" "No." She stepped into the sun, rifle still in hand. "But you stay anyway?" "Yes." She walked over, stood beside the hole. "You dig it deep?" "Yes." "For him?" "Maybe." "For me?" "Maybe." She stared into the earth. "It's too early for graves." He stopped digging. "Then we better learn fast." She nodded. "All right then." She turned, went to the well, drew water, poured it on her wrists. When she looked back, the smile was still there in the dirt, shaped like a boot print. And it hadn't come from him. She sat on the well's edge all morning, eyes fixed on the water like it might speak. The wind didn't move. The rope stayed still. The bucket sat halfway down, not touching anything. Something below hummed soft, steady. Not wind, not water. Something else. He watched her from the barn door. Said nothing. "You ever hear it hum?" she asked. "No." You ever look down there? Yes. See anything? No. She kept staring. You believe in hauntings? No. You think I'm crazy? Yes. She didn't turn around. I see her, she whispered. He didn't answer. She's not dead. Not really. You sure? No. He stepped away. Let her sit with it. That night she woke gasping. Sweat soaked the straw. Her hands clawed at her throat like something had been sewn there. She rubbed her jaw and tasted copper. The fire in the pit had gone out. The coals looked cold, but something glowed in them. Not red, not natural, just green. She stood and walked to the door. It creaked open easy. She stepped outside barefoot. No moon, no sound, just air too still to breathe. He was standing by the well. Again. You see her? No. She's down there. No. She wants something. Don't we all? I buried it. He didn't look at her. Where? Near the woods, north line, behind the stones. What is it? Something I stole. You said you didn't. I lied. He turned to her. You want to dig it up? I think I have to. She went at first light, carried a rusted shovel he left by the tree stump. The spot wasn't marked, but she found it easy. Her hands remembered. Dirt was soft, still loose, like the earth hadn't finished swallowing. She dug slow, breathing heavy. The shovel hit cloth. She froze. You okay? He called from behind. No. Keep going. She crouched and pulled it out, wrapped in gray fabric stained brown. Blood, maybe. Maybe not. Tied with twine, frayed and damp. She sat on her knees, bundle in her lap. You want help? No. She carried it back alone. He followed, slow. Inside the barn, she knelt by the fire pit. You sure? He asked. No. You want to look first? No. He handed her a match. She struck it, dropped it onto the kindling. The fire caught quick. Too quick. The bundle hissed before she touched it to the flame. She placed it in the fire. The cloth curled. The twine snapped. The air filled with a sickly sweet smell. Letters burned first. Words disappeared in flashes. Then came the rosary. Black wood. Silver cross. It sparked green. He stepped back. You see that? Yes. That normal? No. She didn't move. The flames turned tall. Color of sickness. Windless, but they flickered like screaming. She didn't look away. You want to tell me what that was? He asked. No. You want to keep lying? Yes. You want me to stop asking? No. She stood up. It was hers. Your mistress? Yes. She dead? I don't know. You kill her? No. He watched her face. Who did? I think he did. He didn't ask who. She walked to the corner, sank down, knees up, arms folded tight. I thought burying it would end it. It don't. She told me to run. He sat near the wall, far enough. You take anything else? No. Just the boy? Yes. You steal him? No. You sure? No. She looked at him. You think I deserve this? No. You think I made it worse? Maybe. You still think I can be saved? No. She smiled. It didn't last. She whispered. She begged me. For what? To stay. Why didn't you? Because I was scared. He nodded. Fear makes people do things. Like burn evidence. Like survive. They sat quiet for a while. The flames died out slow. Ash settled over the stones like snow. She spoke again. She told me the baby wasn't his. Whose was it? She didn't say. You believe her? No. You think she lied? Yes. Why? She wanted me to stay. He looked toward the fire pit. You believe she's haunting you? I don't know. You feel cursed? Yes. You want to be forgiven? No. He stood. You should sleep. I won't. You might. He left. She stayed sitting, eyes open. Outside, the wind started again. The bucket on the well swayed, slow and deliberate. Inside the barn, she closed her eyes. And for once, the dream didn't come. Only silence. Heavy, full, and waiting. Her back pressed against the barn wall, knees bent, mouth shut tight. No screaming. Just breath through teeth. Blood soaked the hay. Moonlight leaked in through the slats. She didn't call for help. He was already outside. He hadn't moved in hours. Get out, she'd whispered earlier. He nodded once and stepped out. Now her fingers gripped the edge of the trough. Nails split. The pain rose in waves. She counted between them. 6, 5, 3, 1. Then silence. Not relief. Just silence. The baby slid out like something half dead and ancient, cord still attached, covered in wet. She didn't cry. He didn't either. She reached down, pulled him to her chest. Slimy, warm, weightless. His eyes were open, too wide, too still. Is he breathing? She rasped. A shadow at the door answered. He's watching. She blinked sweat from her lashes, looked down. The baby stared up, unmoving. He's not crying. He will when it matters. She tried to laugh, but coughed instead. Blood in her mouth. She wiped it on her sleeve. He's too quiet. He knows where he is. She held the child tighter. The weight settled strange. Not heavy, not light, just there. You come in now? No. Why? You didn't ask me to. You're stubborn. Alive. She wrapped the baby in her underskirt, tied it off. He stayed still, eyes never blinking. You got water? He slid a tin through the gap in the door. She drank it in gulps, spilled half of it. Boy or girl? He asked. Boy. You name him? Elijah. The name didn't sound right in her mouth. Too clean. You sure? No. You want to clean him? She dipped a rag in the bucket, wiped his face, his chest, his back. He didn't fuss, didn't move, just stared. You ever see a baby this still? No. You scared? Yes. She sat on the ground, leaned against the beam. Elijah blinked once, then stopped again. You think he knows? Knows what? Where he came from? Not yet. She swallowed, her lips cracked. He's not hers. No. He's mine. Yes. You believe that? Yes. She looked at the door. You trust me with him? No. She didn't flinch. You ever hold a baby? Once. What happened? Didn't end well. She nodded, closed her eyes. You gonna leave now? No. You gonna stay forever? No. Then what? Long enough. She opened her eyes. He was still there, still outside. You ever seen eyes like that? No. Too old. Yes. Too knowing. Yes. You think it means something? Yes. She looked at the knife in her boot, then at Elijah. You ever hear of a cursed birth? Yes. You believe in that? No. I think you do. Silence. He came out like he already knew pain. Maybe he did. She pressed her lips to the baby's forehead. He's warm. Good. But too calm. He's watching. She stared down at him. Watching what? You. Why? You're all he's got. That ain't much. It's enough. She looked back up. You got anything for him? The Apache stepped inside now, slow, quiet. From under his coat, he pulled a small cloth-wrapped bundle. He unwrapped it with care. Inside, a bone-handled blade, no longer than a hand, carved with circles. What is that? For protection. From who? From men. He placed it under the edge of the crib he'd built 2 days ago without asking. Just 4 boards, nailed rough. Soft straw. You expect trouble? It already came. She tucked the baby inside the crib. He still didn't cry. Didn't stir. You sure he's real? Yes. She touched his chest. Felt breath, barely. I don't want him to grow up like me. He won't. How do you know? He's got you. That ain't good. Still better than the rest. She stood slow. Her legs buckled. He caught her before she fell. I'm fine. You're not. I said I'm fine. He let go. She leaned against the beam again. You ever seen a woman give birth before? No. You okay? No. Too much blood? Yes. You gonna pass out? No, sigh. He nodded. I'm gonna be sick, she said. He stepped back. She turned, vomited into the hay, then wiped her mouth. Hell of a first day, she muttered. He looked at the child. You want him to cry? No. Then don't ask again. She crouched beside the crib. Elijah, she whispered. You hear me? His eyes flicked once. You don't gotta cry, not yet, but when you do, make it loud. He blinked. She smiled. I think he understands. Maybe he does. The Apache stepped toward the door. You leaving? No. Where are you going? To keep watch. She sat beside the crib. The barn creaked. You think the sheriff's coming? Soon. You think he knows? He always knows. She nodded. Then let him come. Outside, the wind picked up. Inside, the child still didn't cry, but his eyes followed the dark and didn't look away. The horse came out of the fog without warning, mud up to its knees, saddle empty, postal bag dragging. No rider, no trail. He stepped outside the cabin and caught the reins. The horse didn't spook, just stood there, breathing heavy. She watched from the barn. Elijah swaddled on her hip. He didn't blink. He never did. Where's the man? She asked. Gone. How you know? Bag's full. Horse is tired. He pulled the mail pouch off the side. Leather cracked, soaked through. Water left a trail down his arm. He opened it slow. Inside, folded papers ruined by rot and rain. One sealed envelope still intact, tucked tight near the bottom. Read it, she said. He handed it over. She wiped her hands clean on her dress and peeled the edge open. Water smudged the ink, but not enough. She ran, she read. She saw too much. Tell no one. The words hung there. He didn't move. She sat on the porch step, Elijah quiet in her lap. You know who it's for? She asked. He nodded. The sheriff. She read the return line. No name, no town, just a mark. She traced the smear with her finger. That's her writing. Your mistress? No. She looked up. My sister. He leaned against the post. Waited. She worked there before me. Same house. Same rules. You think she wrote that? She was always careful. Never signed anything. You see her after? No. You think she's dead? I don't know. He didn't ask more. She stared at the letter. They tried to bury it, but didn't. You think it was meant to come here? No. You think it's a mistake? No. She folded it again. She knew I'd end up out here. He stepped closer. You believe that? I think she knew I'd run. Didn't know where. You think she sent it to warn you? No. To warn him? Yes. She laid the letter flat on her lap. Her thumb traced the edge. She saw something. She told you. Not directly. Then how do you know? She stopped writing. He said nothing. She used to write every week. He nodded once. Then one day she stopped. She said goodbye. No. Then maybe she didn't want to. Or maybe she couldn't. She looked at him. You ever lose someone and not know how? Yes. You still wait for them? No. I do. You think she'll come back? No. She stood. Elijah pressed to her shoulder. You want to burn it? He asked. No. Why not? She wanted it read. She walked inside, laid the letter under a wooden box, heavy with old tools, sat down at the table. He followed her. You afraid now? I was before. You more afraid now? Yes. Why? Because she knew. You want to tell him? The sheriff. He nodded. No. Why not? He already knows. You sure? Yes. She pulled out a sheet of paper, sat still a long moment, picked up the stub of charcoal. You gonna write her? No. Who then? I don't know yet. He stepped outside. Elijah blinked once. She wrote slow, words short, letters pressed deep into the paper like she needed it to feel pain. She didn't sign it, folded it clean, sealed it with wax from a melted candle stub, laid it beside the crib. He came back after sunset. You finish? Yes. You gonna send it? No. Why write it? I had to. He picked it up, turned it over in his hand. No name. No return either. Like hers. She nodded. He set it down. You want me to hide it? No. Burn it? No. Keep it? Yes. She picked up Elijah. You ever think the dead send things? Yes. Letters, dreams, smells. Voices too. You hear them? Sometimes. She rocked Elijah slow. I used to smell her perfume before she vanished. You still smell it. Last night, he stepped closer. Where? By the well. You go near it? No. You should stay away. I know. The wind outside picked up. The barn groaned. She stared at the crib. You think he knows? Elijah? Yes. What's in the letter? Not yet. You want to tell him one day? Maybe. He looked at her face. She didn't flinch. You want to rest? No. You should. I'll sleep when the wind stops. He nodded. Outside, the wind howled louder. Elijah's eyes stayed open. He didn't cry, and the letter on the table didn't move. But something about the room felt different, like someone else had read it first. She followed him without saying anything. Elijah strapped against her chest, breath warm through the cloth. He walked through trees she hadn't seen before, past the north fence line, past the bones of an old shed swallowed by weeds. The air grew colder without reason. The wind dropped. The sound changed. He didn't say where they were going. She didn't ask. Then the trees broke, and there it was. A clearing, round and quiet. 13 graves. No names. No stones. Just wooden stakes. Some split, some bent. One had a child's toy on it. A carved horse, paint half gone. She stopped. What is this? He kept walking, circled the outer edge, boot dragging a faint line in the dirt. You bury them? Yes. All of them? Yes. She stepped closer to the one with the toy. Whose are they? Families. From town? No. From before? Yes. She crouched, set Elijah down beside her. He didn't fuss, just stared, same as always. You knew them? No. But you buried them? Yes. Why? No one else would. She looked at him. You do this often? Often enough. She pointed at one stake, crooked. What's in that one? Don't know. You didn't look? No. She stood. You ever dig one up? No. She looked down again. I want to. He didn't move. I need to. He nodded once. Go ahead. She picked a grave without a marker. Something about the silence around it felt louder than the rest. He handed her the small shovel from his belt. She knelt, started digging. The dirt came up easy, like it didn't want to hold anything. After a few minutes, her blade struck something soft. She slowed. Then her fingers found it. Fabric, matted and wet, even though it hadn't rained in weeks. She dug around it, pulled gently. A bundle came free, wrapped in a yellowing sheet. No bones, no skin, just hair. Long, brown, braided. She dropped it, stumbled back, vomited. Elijah didn't blink. The Apache stood still, didn't move toward her. You knew? She said. No. But you let me. Yes. She wiped her mouth. There's no body. No. Just hair. Yes. You ever seen that before? Yes. She looked around at the others. You think more of them are empty? Maybe. Why keep them in a circle? So they don't forget each other. That some kind of ritual? No. Then what is it? Respect. She stared at the open grave. You ever kill a woman? Yes. She didn't look up. Did she deserve it? Yes. Why? She asked me to. Silence. She stood. Why'd she ask? She was sick. Sick how? Every way a person can be. She nodded. You loved her? No. She love you? No. So why help her? She was tired. She picked Elijah up, held him close. She die fast? Yes. You regret it? No. She walked to another grave. You gonna stop me if I dig this one? No. She didn't, just looked at it. I was supposed to die too. I know. You think they'll come for me again? Yes. You gonna stop them? If I can. And if you can't? I'll die trying. She laughed, short, bitter. That ain't much comfort. No. She turned back to the open grave. What do I do with this? Nothing. Leave it. Yes. That feel right? No. Then why do it? Sometimes wrong's all we got. She nodded. Cover it? Yes. She did, hands shaking, breath short. Elijah started to fuss for the first time in days. She hushed him. You think I'm one of them now? She asked. No. You think I'm close? Maybe. She tied the cloth tighter around Elijah. You want me to bury you someday? If it comes to that. You want a marker? No. You want a name? No. Why not? Already gave it up. She turned to leave. He stayed behind. You coming? In a minute. She started back through the trees. Slow. Heavy. Elijah quiet again. She didn't look back. She knew the graves would still be watching. She was looking for firewood when she found it. Thick trunk, bark split open like old wounds. Rope fragments still hanging, swaying slow, though the wind wasn't moving. The ground around it had no grass, just packed dirt, like feet had kicked and dragged. She stepped closer. Her hand moved without thinking, touched the bark. Something warm, something sticky. She pulled her fingers back. Dark red, still wet, carved into the wood, low near the base, were 3 letters. Hers. She froze. Elijah, she whispered. You stay right there. He sat in the leaves, quiet, chewing a pine cone. She crouched beside the tree, looked up at the rope stub. You ever seen this? She asked. The Apache stepped out of the trees behind her. Yes. You know what it is? Yes. Why didn't you say? Didn't think you'd find it. She stood. Someone tried to hang me here. They didn't finish. You think it was him? Yes. Why? Because it's still here. She walked around the trunk. How long? Before me. So this land remembers? Everything. She stepped back. I want it gone. You sure? Yes. It won't like that. I don't care. He nodded. I'll get oil. She didn't move, just kept staring. That night she soaked the base herself, poured oil along the roots, the rope, the scarred bark. He brought a match, handed it to her. You do it. She lit the edge and stepped back. The fire climbed fast, too fast. The flames snapped high, green at the tips. The rope caught last. It burned slow. She didn't blink. Elijah sat beside her in the dirt, watching. His eyes reflected the flames, but not like a child's, like something older. You feel that? She asked. Yes. You think it's screaming? Yes. Good. She stood until the tree fell, cracked once, landed without a thud. The sound it made was wrong, like breath being cut off. He watched her face. You done now? No. You feel better? No. You think it's over? No. He nodded. Let's go inside. They left the fire to smolder. The next morning she went to the clearing to see the ashes, but the tree was back, whole, tall, same bark, same rope, same carved initials, fresh. She stepped closer, slow, touched the wood, cold. Elijah, she said quietly. He was already behind her. You see it? Yes. It came back. Yes. She turned to the Apache. Is it real? Yes. How? It never left. You saw it fall. I did. You watched it burn. Yes. Then why is it here? Because you are. She stared at the rope. It moved again, just barely. You think I died here once? Maybe. You think I will again? Maybe. She looked down at Elijah. Take him back. No. Why not? He stays with you. I don't want him near it. He already is. She stepped away from the tree. What is this? Memory. You ever try to burn something that wouldn't go? Yes. What happened? It followed me. You think this will? No. Why not? It wants to stay here. She walked to the base again, looked down at the carved letters. You think it knew my name before I got here? Yes. You think it's his? The sheriff? She nodded. Maybe. You think he brought me here to finish it? Yes. Why didn't he? You weren't ready. She ran her fingers over the letters. They're fresh. Yes. I didn't carve them. I know. She looked up at the rope. You ever want to hang yourself? No. I did once. I know. Why didn't I? Because you had to get here first. She turned back to him. You think I'm part of this land now? Yes. You think I'm cursed? No. She looked down at Elijah again. What about him? He didn't answer. She crouched in front of her son, brushed dirt from his cheek. You feel anything? Elijah blinked once. She turned back to the tree. I want to cut it down again. It'll come back. I don't care. Then do it. She picked up the axe from the cart. You gonna help? No. She walked to the tree, raised the blade, swung once. It bled. Not sap, not water. She dropped the axe, stepped back. He caught her by the shoulders. "You saw that," she whispered. "Yes." She shook. "You still think I'm alive?" "Yes." "You sure?" "No." She knelt, covered Elijah's ears. The rope above them swayed, without wind, without sound. It wasn't over. It never would be. She felt it first, long before the dust rose. Elijah stiffened in her arms. Not crying, just alert, watching the tree line. Same way the Apache watched the wind, face blank, shoulders square, boots braced like the earth might move. "They're here," she said. "Yes." "How many?" "6. "That include him?" "Yes." She stepped onto the porch, rifle slung low, Elijah tight to her chest. From the ridge they came slow. Horses, long shadows, lanterns swinging. One torch already lit, though the sun hadn't dropped. The flames looked lazy, like they'd done this before. The sheriff was in the center, riding like a man who never worried about balance. Rope coiled on his saddle horn, black hat pulled low, mouth curled in something like a smirk, but not alive enough to call one. He didn't speak first. One of the others did. "House looks smaller than I remember." "She ain't." Laughter, short. The Apache stepped down from the porch. No weapon drawn, just standing. "Where's the girl?" the sheriff called. "She's got a name." "Not to me." She stepped forward, rifle across her arms. Elijah still, eyes wide. "You come to take her." "We came to take back what's ours." "You got a warrant?" "I don't need one." "She ain't property. She was bought." "With blood." The sheriff dismounted. The others followed. 5 men, hard-faced, 1 boy, 2 young, all armed. The Apache stepped further into the yard. "She didn't run. She survived. She broke the rules. She made new ones." The sheriff looked her way. "You gonna let him do your talking?" She raised her rifle slightly. "I talk fine. You bring the child out like bait? I bring him out like proof." "Of what?" "That I lived." One of the men shifted, finger tapped against his rifle stock. "You think he'll shoot for you?" the sheriff asked. She didn't blink. He already did. That got them quiet, even the young one. The Apache nodded once. "You want blood?" he asked. "We want her." "Take me instead?" "No." "Then take your shot." The sheriff smiled. "Not yet." She stepped forward, Elijah against her. Heartbeat fast. She could feel it in her ribs. "You want me?" she said. "Come take us." He looked past her, toward the barn, toward the hills, toward the circle of graves. Then he raised his hand. Someone fired, but it didn't come from them. It came from the hills. Sharp, clean. One of the men went down. No scream, just dropped. Panic didn't come, just confusion. Guns drawn, eyes high. "Where?" Another shot. The boy dropped his rifle, ran. The sheriff didn't stop him. The Apache didn't move. "Sniper," one man said. "No," the sheriff answered. "Ghost." Another shot. Third man fell. They scattered behind trees, crouched low. "Who's up there?" "Don't know." She didn't look away. The sheriff stood alone now, the rest hiding, blood on his boots. "You call for backup?" "No." "You think someone else wants her dead?" "Yes." "You think it's her past?" "Yes." The Apache looked at her. "You ready?" "No." "Too late." Another shot. Missed on purpose. Dirt exploded near the sheriff's foot. He didn't flinch. "You gonna kill me, girl?" "Don't tempt me." "You think you're something now?" "No." "You're just another broken thing pretending it's whole." She adjusted the rifle in her grip. "That why you came back? To remind me?" He stepped closer, 1 pace, then another. "You don't know what you're carrying." "I know enough." "That child ain't clean." "He's mine." "You sure?" "Yes." "He's got eyes like his." She lowered the barrel an inch. "You think that scares me?" "You should be." Another shot fired. This one hit the torch. Flames dropped into the dirt. The sheriff paused, looked back. "They won't follow me again," he said. "Good. They'll follow you. I'll teach 'em not to." He looked at Elijah. "He's too quiet. He knows when to stay silent. Like you used to." "I'm not her anymore." He reached for his sidearm. The Apache raised his hand. "Try it." "You think I won't?" "I hope you do." But the sheriff stopped, hand just resting on the grip. "I could still hang you," he said. Then do it. No crowd to cheer this time. Then hang yourself. Silence. Another shot. Closest yet. Splintered bark beside his leg. The Apache took one step forward. This land's done with you. The sheriff looked at him. You don't own this land. No. But it remembers who walks wrong on it. The sheriff's eyes narrowed. You think it forgives her? No. You think it forgives you? No. You think you're better than me? I think I'm quieter. Then from the tree line, a figure stepped out. Older woman, long coat, rifle in hand, not dead. She, the sister, eyes locked on the sheriff. He froze. You, he whispered. The woman raised her rifle. No. Bang. The sheriff dropped. Neck. Fast. Final. The woman stood still. Didn't speak. Didn't cry. She lowered the gun. The Apache nodded once. Long time, he said. She nodded back. Then she looked at the girl. You all right? No. You got the boy? Yes. Then you're better off than I ever was. She stepped forward, looked down at the sheriff's body. Killed me once already, she said, then walked past him like he was dust. The others didn't move, just backed off. Disappeared into the woods. No more shots, no more wind, just quiet. The girl dropped to her knees. Elijah still pressed against her. You knew she was alive. The Apache didn't answer. She looked up at him. Did you? No. Then why'd she come? He looked at the child. Maybe for him. Elijah looked up, blinked once. She stood, wiped dirt from her face. We bury him. Yes. Where? Anywhere. She looked at the barn. No, she said. Right here. She took the shovel from the cart, walked over, dug the hole, 3 feet deep. Not out of mercy, he helped roll the sheriff in. No words, no prayers. They covered him in silence. By nightfall, nothing marked the place. No cross, no rope, just dirt. She held Elijah close. You warm? He blinked. You all right? He nodded. Good. The Apache stood nearby, watchful. The woman had gone, left without a sound, back into the hills, back into myth. By the time the stars came out, the house looked smaller, but it felt stronger, and no one was circling it anymore. She was sweeping the barn floor when it happened. Late morning, warm sun outside, cool shade inside. Elijah sat near the wall, hands busy with a spoon and a dented tin cup. She heard him murmur, not babble, not sound, a word, small, clear. Papa. She stopped mid-sweep, turned slow. What did you say? He looked at her, then pointed at the door. Papa. She stepped closer. Elijah. He smiled, just barely. Said it again. Papa. The Apache stepped through the open doorway, carrying 2 eggs and a wrapped bundle of dry meat. Elijah lit up. Papa. The eggs dropped, hit dirt, cracked silent. She froze. The Apache didn't. He bent, picked up what was left, set it on the table. Didn't look at her. You hear him? She asked. Yes. You gonna say something? No. He called you. I heard. He's never said mama. I know. Or water. Or food. I know. Why now? He looked at Elijah. He knows. Knows what? What's safe? She didn't speak. Elijah stood, waddled to him, gripped his leg. The Apache rested a hand on his head. Nothing more. That night, she sat alone by the barn window, watching the tree line. Crickets low, wind soft, bell in her lap. You ever had a child? She asked. No. Someone call you that before? No. You okay with it? Yes. She turned to him. I'm not. I know. It scares me. I know. He's attaching to you. Yes. You gonna leave someday? Yes. Then don't let him. I won't. She looked at the bell. Rusted, small. What's that for? He asked. A signal. For what? For trouble. He nodded. She stood, walked to the barn door, nailed it above the latch. He sees men, she said. He rings twice. He's scared, just once. What if no one's there? We check anyway. She walked back to the table, sat, hands folded tight. You believe he remembers? Yes. From before? Yes. You believe in that? I've seen it. She tapped the wood. I thought he was broken. He's not. He's too quiet. So are you. She smiled barely. You think he sees you as father? Yes. You see him as son? No. Why not? Not my right. He thinks so. That's enough. Next morning, Elijah rang the bell once. She came running. He pointed to the corner of the barn. Nothing there. She searched, behind crates, beneath blankets. No one. You scared? She asked. He nodded. She picked him up. Good. That means it works. They kept practicing. Once for fear, twice for men. Some days he rang it too much. Some days not at all. One night, she found the Apache staring at it. You all right? She asked. Yes. You thinking about leaving? No. You still plan to? Yes. When? When he doesn't need me. That day won't come. Then I'll die here. She didn't reply. Next week, Elijah started sleeping with the bell in his hand. She let him. One morning, it rang once before dawn. She jumped up, ran to the barn. He sat upright, pointing at the wall. What is it? Shadow. No one's there. He didn't blink. Shadow, he said again. The Apache appeared behind her. You see anything? She asked. No. You believe him? Yes. She walked the perimeter. Nothing. No footprints. No smell. She came back inside. He said shadow. Yes. You ever hear him lie? No. She looked at Elijah. You sure it wasn't a dream? He shook his head. Was it a man? He nodded. You see his face? No. You feel him? Yes. She set him in her lap. You want us to leave? No. You feel safe here? He nodded. You feel safe with him? Another nod. She looked at the Apache. You want to raise him? No. But you will. Yes. That night, she dreamed of the rope again. This time, Elijah was holding it. The sheriff stood beneath him, smiling. The rope swung empty. She woke up shaking. Elijah was already awake, watching her. Was it the tree? He whispered. She blinked. Yes. He nodded. I see it too. He never cried about it, but the next day, he asked where the graves were. She didn't answer. The Apache did. North Woods. You buried bad men? Elijah asked. Yes. You gonna bury more? Probably. Me too. No. You sure? Yes. Elijah looked up at the tree line. They're still watching. I know. He didn't ask who. Weeks passed. Elijah spoke more. Not much. Only when needed. One morning she heard him mutter something near the well. She crept up. What are you saying? He looked back. Talking to her. Who? The one who watches from the water. She froze. You saw her? Yes. What did she say? She sings sometimes. Words? No. The Apache joined them. She speak to you? No. Just him? Yes. Why? Children hear what we block out. You scared? She asked Elijah. No. You should be. She's not mad. Then what is she? Lonely. They sat near the well, listening. Nothing. No song. No wind. Just stillness. Elijah stood. She said you're strong. She blinked. She who? The watcher. What else she say? That he'll leave. She looked at the Apache. You still planning that? Yes. Elijah didn't flinch. She said we'll be okay. Later the Apache worked on the roof. Quiet. Focused. She climbed the ladder. You really gonna go? Yes. When? When it's time. What if I ask you to stay? You won't. I might. You won't mean it. I might still ask. He didn't look down. You regret saving me? No. You regret letting him call you that? No. She nodded. I don't either. Elijah rang the bell twice that evening, fast, urgent. They ran. He pointed to the ridge. 3 men, watching, no movement, no signal. Scouts? She asked. Maybe. Sheriffs? No. Worse? Maybe. They didn't come closer, just turned, vanished. Next time, the Apache said, we shoot first. Elijah nodded. You gonna teach me too? Yes. Soon? Yes. The next day, she found him with the old rifle. Hands too small, grip too loose, but eyes steady. You scared of it? She asked. No. You should be. I will be when I shoot. Good. She looked at the Apache. He's watching you. I know. He copies your hands, your walk, your quiet. I know. You ready for that? No. You'll do fine. I won't. He'll think you did. That night, Elijah whispered again in sleep, Papa. She didn't wake him. She just listened to the word float through the barn like it belonged, like it had always been there. Years passed quiet, not peaceful, just quiet. The barn still stood. So did the bell. The rope wore thin, but Elijah never let it break. He'd check it every morning, tap it once, just to be sure it still worked. She watched him grow, slow and tall, more bone than meat, more stillness than noise. His feet made no sound when he walked. His eyes didn't ask questions, just held answers no one wanted to say out loud. The Apache stayed until the wind changed. He didn't leave loud, just vanished between dawn and breakfast. No goodbye, no note, just his coat folded on the porch rail and the child's knife missing from the shelf. She didn't cry. Elijah did. Once, then never again. The morning after he left, she found the crib taken apart and stacked neat in the barn corner. Under it, where the straw had been thickest, he'd carved something into the floorboard. Leave the land better than it left you. She ran her fingers over the letters until the wood splintered. Elijah, she called. You hungry? No. You sleep? No. You dream? Yes. She didn't ask what about. That winter was longer than the others. Colder, too. The stove stayed lit, but the air never warmed. Something in the ground had turned restless. The well froze over. The animals quit making noise. The land held its breath. One night the bell rang, twice, then stopped. She was up before her boots were on. Elijah? No answer. She opened the barn door. He stood there, barefoot, arms at his sides. You ring it? He shook his head. Why not? I didn't touch it. She stepped outside, lantern up, snow around the barn, undisturbed. Then she saw them. Footprints. Small, too small, circling the barn, not coming or going. Just round and round. She followed them with the light, counted the steps, stopped when they overlapped themselves. They were hers. Same shape, same heel drag, but smaller, older. Elijah, I see them. He stood beside her now. You remember that size? She asked. Yes. You think they're yours? No. Then whose? He pointed toward the woods. She's back. The well groaned that night. Not loudly, not screaming, just enough to say she hadn't gone far. You afraid? She asked. No. Should you be? No. She nodded. They didn't talk for 2 days. On the third, he brought her the blade, not the Apache's. The other one, the one he'd made. I want to bury it, he said. Where? Not near the tree. Why? It don't deserve it. She waited. He pointed to the hill behind the barn. Where it's clean. She didn't argue. They walked together. No words. Just the sound of dirt turning. He handed her the knife. Why me? She asked. It's yours now. She laid it down gentle, not like a weapon, like something sacred. He covered it fast, packed it tight. This one's mine, he said. Not his. You sure? Yes. She nodded. Back at the house, the stove had gone out. She didn't relight it. You think he's still watching? She asked. Elijah looked at the bell. Yes. From where? Everywhere. She cleaned the old tin cup, the one he used to bang against the wall when he was a baby. She hung it on a nail outside the barn door. What's that for? He asked. Sound. We already got the bell. This one's for him. Elijah didn't ask who. That spring, the graves grew moss. She didn't visit them anymore. Not because she forgot, because she remembered too well. The tree still stood. The rope had snapped years ago, but the limb still curved like it was waiting. She didn't look at it when she passed. Neither did Elijah. One night she asked him, You ever think about leaving? He was mending the roof then, hammer in hand. I did, he said. I left enough. You think he's coming back? No. You think he should? No. She poured water into the basin. You miss him? Yes. You blame him? No. She leaned against the doorframe. You think I made it right? You made it quiet. She smiled. That's something. He nodded. That's everything. She sat beside him after supper. The wind outside didn't blow. Do you still dream? She asked. Yes. Same ones? No. Different how? They talk now. Who? All of them. She didn't speak. He looked out of the window. You want to know what they say? No. Good. Later, she stood beneath the bell, tapped it once with her nail. You ever wonder if it was cursed? Elijah shrugged. Don't matter. Why not? We're still here. That night she took out the letters. The one from her sister. The one she never sent. The ones never signed. She burned them all. Didn't watch the flames. Didn't smell the ink. Elijah watched from the barn. You all right? He asked. No. You want to be? No. He nodded. The land stayed dry that year. Crops failed in town. Folks moved east. Some came west. No one came to their door. Elijah built a second bell frame, hung it near the well. You think it'll help? She asked. Yes. Or make things worse? Same thing. She let it ring once on her birthday. He didn't ask why. She didn't explain. When fall came, he dug up the blade. I thought you buried it, she said. I did. Why dig it back? It ain't meant to stay hidden. She saw the symbols carved into the handle. Not letters, just marks, circles, lines, one tear-shaped notch near the base. What do they mean? She asked. Everything we don't say. You make those yourself? No. Then who? He looked up. Someone who needed to be remembered. She nodded. You gonna carry it? No. Then what? Offer it. To who? Whoever asks. He left it under the porch, wrapped in cloth, nailed a wooden slat beside it, burned 3 lines into it. She never asked what they meant. The night before winter, the wind returned, louder this time, like breath through dead teeth. Elijah didn't wake. She sat by the fire alone. Then the bell rang. Once, then twice, then stopped. She didn't move, didn't reach for the rifle, didn't light the lamp. She stepped out barefoot. Frost on the ground, snow just beginning to fall. No tracks, no people, no sound, except the well, bubbling, like a mouth underwater. She stood beside it, looked down, black, deep, still. She whispered, I'm not afraid. Nothing answered. She turned to go back inside, then stopped. In front of the barn, in the dirt, footprints. Just one set, small, circling again. No overlap this time, new. She walked over, kneeled, touched one. It was warm. Elijah, she called. He opened the door behind her. You see this? He nodded. I think it's time. For what? For them to go. He didn't ask how, didn't ask where. She took the blade from beneath the porch, walked to the circle, set it in the center, just placed it on the ground. Nothing grand. Then she whispered something Elijah couldn't hear. The wind stopped. The air shifted. The footprints stayed, but they didn't grow. Next morning, the bell didn't ring. The well didn't groan. The air felt lighter. Elijah watched her make coffee. You done running? Yes. You ever start again? No. He nodded. I think they're resting now. I think they always were. They just wanted to be seen. She sat beside him. You think the land forgives? No. But it remembers. Yes. She stood. Walked to the back tree. Not the cursed one. The other. The one with no history. She dug a small hole. Placed the blade there. Covered it slow. That one's his, she said. Elijah watched. You think he knows? Yes. She stepped back. Brushed her hands off. That's the last of it. He nodded. That night, the stove burned steady. The wind didn't come. No voices, no dreams. Only sleep, the deep kind, the kind earned. In the morning, she stood by the barn, Elijah by her side. You ever gonna leave? He asked. No. Ever think about it? No. He pointed toward the trees. I think something's watching. I hope so. He looked at her. You ever feel saved? No. Why not? This land didn't save me. He waited. She looked at him. He did. And the bell stayed silent.